It is Friday morning here at SSJ at home. It's Good Friday. And our guest this morning, Father Pat. Father, thank you for making time out of your morning. Today is a day where we have two services, one at 3, one at 7 o'clock, as opposed to masses. Tell us the difference and the significant differences between those two words, and then let us know a little bit about this day.
Yeah, so our Triduum celebration continues, our great 3 days. 72 hours started last night at nightfall. We'll go through Easter Sunday at nightfall. And today is that heart, the Good Friday, the day that we walk with Christ in his passion and death and recognize the power of the cross. And so today we don't have a mass, right? A mass is where we actually consecrate the Eucharist, and we don't consecrate the Eucharist today. We consecrated double the number of hosts yesterday at yesterday's Holy Thursday Mass, and so today we won't have Mass. We'll have a communion service. So it'll be a service. It'll start with the Word, just like it normally does, but then we'll have the veneration of the cross, the heart of what the Good Friday service is. And then we'll bring out the hosts that were consecrated yesterday, say in Our Father, and distribute communion to those that are present. And so we don't actually consecrate new hosts today. Tomorrow we won't even do that. Tomorrow is the one day of the year on Holy Saturday where there are no liturgical services, where there are no services, either a communion service, you can't receive communion tomorrow as we commemorate that period that Jesus was in the tomb. And only under emergency can you receive communion tomorrow during the day. At nightfall, we have the Easter Vigil, go forward. But today is a day to reflect on the cross, you know, and when you stop and you think about the cross, it's amazing the way the early church embraced the cross. I mean, the Romans had to have been blown away by that. They had developed crucifixion as just a way to stop insurrections. It was the worst form of torture, right? You would take the leader of the insurrection and you would have him carry a cross up to the top of a hill outside of the city and crucify him. And crucifixion was just agony and torture for hours, right? And he would be up there for hours as he suffocated, and in pain and all, and all of the people would see that and run, and of course initially that's what the apostles, that's what most of the disciples did was run from the cross, but then they embraced the cross. What happened is they no longer saw it as a sign of punishment. They started to see the cross as a sign of love. And here at the Triduum celebration, it's all about God's love. And it's all about seeing the cross as a sign of Christ's love for us, that great love of God, the great mercy there of God. And that's why we venerate it today. Because of COVID standards, we can't go up and kiss the cross like we normally do, but we can stop and meditate upon the cross. Today, people still want to turn the cross into a sign of punishment rather than a sign of God's love. You hear people say that, well, Christ was punished for our sins. I reject that notion, right? Christ voluntarily in love took on the cross. It's a sign of sacrifice. It's a sign of love, not a sign of punishment. If we see it as a sign of punishment, we can make one of two mistakes. Either we can start seeing God as a punishing God and become overly scrupulous, or we can become complacent. Well, all right, Christ already was punished for our sins. We don't have anything to worry about with our sins. But when we see it as a sign of love, which is what it is, that Christ voluntarily, because he loved us so much, he could have run, he could have escaped, He could have, but no, he continued to preach his message of love. And he knew his message of love would rile up people and that he would ultimately be crucified. And he sacrificed himself for us to bring us into that sacrificial union. When we see it as a sign of love, we can turn our own suffering right into an act of love. We can unite our suffering with the suffering of Christ on the cross. And so that's what today is about, is coming and embracing the cross as those early Christians did, and recognizing it as what it truly is, a sign of Christ's love for us.
Father, thank you for your time this morning, 3 o'clock and 7 o'clock for the Good Friday services today. I might also offer as a reminder that today is the first day of the Divine Mercy Novena. If you would visit our website for more information on that.
And it's not too late to come on down for the Holy Week mission. So join us today and tomorrow as we do our service projects all around campus, all around the community. So join us.
And you will be with us again tomorrow.
I will.
Okay.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you.